E-Ink tablets solved the problem of organization at work for me. My problem was just having stacks of paper. So I switched to using E-Ink tablets as my planner. Let me show you what they can do. You can write, move stuff, and resize things here. Got all of these different pen options so you can differentiate your notes. Can you see how much clearer that is on the Tab Ultra there? But of course, I can also use any app I wish from the Google Play Store, including a full calendar and Outlook. So did you see that? On this simple PDF planner, I can have unlimited space. And on the Boox devices, I can use different colors to do different notes if I wish. I can use any organization or productivity or planning app I wish, including my organization's Microsoft Outlook calendar or my Google Calendar. In short, any of these 4 E-Ink tablets that I'm going to be comparing today will do a great job of being your digital planner. Boox is the obvious choice for me because it's just so well integrated. But that's not to say the other tablets don't have a trick up their sleeves. Did you notice how the Remarkable left a bit of a ghosted image on its screen after I moved something and copied it? That didn't happen here on the Boox tablet. And that's because the Boox Tab series have a GPU which actually clears the white space, which makes it look always really crisp and clear. I think there's going to be some surprises along the way, and your choice might be different to mine. Comparing the Remarkable 2 to the Boox Tab Ultra C, the Supernote A5X and the Kindle Scribe, because I think if you're interested in the E-Ink tablet, these are probably the 4 most highly recommended tablets right now. Firstly, let's talk about calendaring. There's no calendar at all on the Kindle Scribe or the Remarkable 2. But you could, and many do, use a PDF planner, full year, which just exists as a book and which you note down all of your plans like you would a paper planner. This does work great on the Remarkable, but the PDF planning document might just become huge. And I don't know if I really want to trust a tablet not to crash and lose a year of my appointments or at least some recent changes and notes. Personally, I wouldn't go down an entire year on one PDF planner. I make each 2 weeks as one PDF planner, and that way they never get too large. And then maybe have a separate file for your kind of monthly or annual planning. It's easy enough to tag things or to keep them in files such that you could actually manage that quite easily on the Remarkable 2. The Kindle Scribe, no such thing there, although there are some folders. You can actually import your PDF onto there and write on it, but there's some weird PDF kind of formatting issues and you might lose some hyperlinks there as well. So not ideal. So for calendaring, there's going to be the Supernote and the Boox that you're going to want to look at. Both have a calendar built in. Supernote and the Boox are the only ones that currently you can integrate with any sort of online calendar that you could manage from anywhere. So most of us will be used to largely managing our calendar from our phone and then want it to sync to online locations as well. Unfortunately, I've never found a way, I don't think it's actually possible, to integrate a Google Calendar into the Boox Memo Note calendar, which is really quite frustrating actually. However, of course, you can just use a calendar app here on the Boox. This is a miss in my opinion. It seems like it would be easy enough just to integrate this into Google Calendar. And their calendar app is good because their calendar app brings up what you've been reading and it brings up what you've been working on those days. And the notes, they then appear on the home page as well on this little memo pad down here. Similarly, you can have notes and memos and it will tell you in the Supernote calendar, it will tell you what you're working on that day as well. And although you can integrate this into your Google Calendar or other cloud calendar, it doesn't seem to be actually updating mine at the moment. I don't know if that's just because I haven't been using it for a while. I don't think that's a very good integration if it's not there, ready to go. So I would say these two, the calendars that are built in, are actually better for managing what you were doing on the device and thinking about what you're using the device for rather than managing all of your time. So none of them are looking great for calendars, and it probably is the Boox because you can use that third-party app to manage your calendars that you're going to want to do if you want to do calendaring here on an E-Ink tablet. If you want to talk about email as part of planning and organization, well, Remarkable 2 and Scribe, I'm afraid, only use email as a way to get things on or off the device, so it's a no-go for them as well. Supernote does have email and it does work, although it isn't as easy as it should be to set up. I honestly don't think I'd be relying on Supernote for my email. I think that might be quite a frustrating experience. Also, composing isn't great because although the handwriting input is very good, I think that would get pretty frustrating for doing things like writing email addresses and for longer bits of text in an email body. However, with the Boox Tab Ultra C, you can of course use any email app that you like, and you can use the keyboard case as well to type out your emails or to edit the voice recognition emails that you used. Supernote is not going to become a place where you manage your email. Anything above just quick notes backwards and forwards, I just don't think it's going to take over in terms of convenience, even from your phone. I don't think you're going to manage anything more complex than maybe a few notes. It was kind of nice emailing handwritten notes though. That might be a fun way to send personal email in the future, maybe if more people are using this type of device. But the Boox tab lineup is somewhere that I would actually see myself using as my main email device. I really liked reading and I really liked writing emails on this tablet. In fact, when I was daily driving this, testing it out for my full review at work, I spent a lot of time next to my computer in its laptop mode and ready to read and write emails. So I essentially left this on email and worked on other documents on my laptop. It's that good. In fact, if I have to type an email, I actively choose to do that on the Tab Ultra C. I've covered the note-taking app itself in other videos. I've compared these four purely for note-taking in another video. So now I'm just going to talk about how well these devices manage to be a note-taker for organization purposes. Those incidental notes that we take on a daily basis, and whether these are quick memos or quick notes to colleagues or thoughts that you had when you were reading, the Scribe actually excels in this point. And honestly, I know people are quite keen to write directly on their books, but I actually like the way that the Kindle Scribe handles annotations on books. Not the sticky notes, I think they're rubbish because they're just too small a little thing there, but just a normal annotation. So if you highlight a section, then make a nice big clear highlighted, and you can add a note to that. And now you can do a handwritten note in here as well. I think that's really good. Remarkable is an outstanding notebook, and that's all. And you will get used to the note-taking system here on the Remarkable quite quickly, either on a set of PDFs or notes that you actually make yourself. You will get used to it really quite quickly using the different tools, selecting, moving things, copying them and deleting them. And you will get used to the fact that wherever you are at any point, you can open up quick sheets very quickly from the drop-down menu and start taking a note. And then the notes that you take here can be exported into other notebooks. So I live in that 2-week PDF, and I just start a new blank one each fortnight. And my little notes can go in there, and I can delete them when I'm done with them, or copy and paste if I need to move them to a different notebook. So actually it is very easy to organize your thoughts and notes on the Remarkable. You also have very good cloud apps there where you can actually get those notes off and use them in different places. I like the way that when a page gets a little bit crowded, you can actually select something and put it off to one corner and sort of carry on annotating afterwards. You can also at any point flick up and get yourself a whole new page vertically beneath it. So the pages are sort of infinitely long on the Remarkable, which means that it's a very good way to organize things. They've just added a similar sort of feature to the Scribe where you can actually resize things and move them around and copy them. Although, can we copy them to a different notebook? Yes, you can. So that's useful that they've added that. One nice feature across all of these is that you can use handwriting recognition. They do them in slightly different ways, and the best implementation is the Supernote, which can do it in the background. And they're all pretty accurate. The Supernote does organization of notes the best out of all of them because of the added hyperlinks modes, the way that you've got this quick access bar of your most recent documents and notes, the way you can build out tables of contents with titles, keywords, or star marks. And these things can all be linked into the calendar as well. You can link between notebooks, not just copy, paste, and move things, but you can actually link to different notebooks. And so people could actually use this like a bullet journal and build out a home page, a contents page, and link to any part of the device they wish. Lots of great things. And what's more is the Supernote is that lovely surface to write from with that ceramic nib as well. It really is like writing with a premium pen on premium paper, and that's nice even for those little scribbles. But Boox wins the organizing your notes category, as wherever you currently keep your notes, you can integrate it here. You can use Notion on here. I use Xtiles on here. You can use any knowledge management system that you use. You'll be able to integrate that into these devices. So for instance, annotations that you make on books, you can copy and paste directly into your knowledge management app. You can use Otter on here and actually voice record your notes. It's just so versatile. And I personally love how I can just move these notes around from Google Drive, Xtiles, all of which I use for slightly different reasons. They all do sync to the cloud in one way or the other. You can access them from browsers or from desktop apps, but I just feel that using a dedicated app which is designed to do that is far better than the somewhat clunky cloud sharing apps of the other ones. So it's not the Boox cloud sharing app here that wins out, because push.books is actually not one of the best ones, but it's the fact that we can get things on and off the device from any cloud sharing app that we choose to use. My personal favorite for organizing tasks is actually the Supernote, because within your notebooks you can at any point draw a star mark, and that then becomes something which is left in the table of contents for you to access. So any page that you've left a star mark, you'll be able to go to, and once you feel that's completed, you can simply just delete the star mark and it will be gone from the list of tasks, if you like, in the table of contents. I think that's really nice. And you get to see that preview of the page there as well. Go to the page, you read the note that was ascribed to that task, and you complete the action. If you use the Boox calendar well, you could actually integrate that really well into your planner, so you could know when tasks were coming up by sort of leaving notes and memos on that date. That would be a really useful thing for planning. But of course, once again, if you use a different app to plan things on your phone, a calendar for instance, or Xtiles can have calendar integrations in there as well, then you can do that on the Boox. That, I think, again, is going to win it out. On the other two, on the Remarkable and the Kindle Scribe, you are going to be using a bit more of a analog style of bullet journaling to keep track of your tasks and when they need to happen. It just isn't making great use of the digital platform. Talked about all of these devices offer some kind of cloud storage for integration, but at present Kindle is the least well optimized, as it's only really just a backup of your notes in case you should lose your Scribe or you buy a new one. There is a web location you can now look at your notes files, but all you can do there is just screenshot them. You can't even save them or download them. There's no way to edit them either. Remarkable, Supernote and Boox all do have cloud services and they're just fine, although you do have to pay for the Remarkable one. It's affordable now in my opinion, but all the others give you storage, at least some storage, for free. You can use the cloud service to get things on and off, but it won't store your notes forever without you upgrading to the Connect plan. I do like the plugins that they've got for Remarkable in Chrome, and now also for Office as well, so you can actually send things from a web article straight to the Remarkable, or you can send a document from Word straight to the Remarkable to be annotated, and PowerPoint as well. And Kindle now have a send to Kindle from Word option, which is fine, but these are one way. You can send things to the Remarkable or Kindle and you can annotate them, but you can't send them back to Word. You can send them via email. It's the same case with Google Drive and Dropbox. You can pull things down or you can upload, but there's no real-time integration, which is really what we want when we're talking about integrations in the 21st century. Remarkable are improving their cloud services, and it is already one of the better bespoke cloud services. Supernote goes just a little bit further and does allow you to use Google Drive as an alternative to their own US or Chinese servers. All of the notes files can be backed up to Google Drive, but of course the Supernote note file you can't read or open on anything but the Supernote tablet itself. You can, however, read the doc files that you can make on here, and you can read PDFs that you've written on as well. But one thing about Supernote is that sync is on demand, which can sometimes be kind of painfully slow. So it isn't just, yeah, you can see there. I have to reauthorize that because I haven't done it in a little while, I suppose. But I have found that it's painfully slow to do that. Boox, though, can integrate with whatever you have already. And although it's a pretty tricky thing to link your reading notes to a cloud service like Google Drive, it can actually be done, and you can actually link those to other things. Basically, whatever you can do on an Android operating system, you can do here. For instance, both Evernote and OneNote are now well organized. So if you want to use that as a basis for all of your notes using the Microsoft Cloud, then you can do that. And Push.Boox can also be on US or EU servers, so that's a safer, secure place for your notes. For me though, it's being able to write directly into the live documents that I have in Google Drive, on Xtiles, or indeed in Microsoft Word. That just does it for me. Boox are the winners for integrated workflows. Let's talk about cost and benefit really. People have a sensible objection to these tablets, especially the Remarkable. And they say things like, a £300 replacement for paper. How ridiculous is that? No thanks. It makes some level of sense, as yeah, it's just an infinite pages planner for that use case. But the thing is, once you've used a Remarkable, you'll struggle to go back to not using it. You'll struggle to go back to basic paper. In fact, this is frequent feedback that I get from viewers who have bought after my recommendations. I can't imagine going back, is what they say. But I can take the point, if you're going to get another microprocessor in your life, it might as well, or it blooming well better, integrate with other apps and devices. So if this is your use case, it's worth spending more and getting a full Eink experience, in my opinion. I agonized over the first £300 that I spent on the Remarkable one actually, and it was a great deal, accessories included, as they were about to launch the Remarkable 2. But I knew the day after it arrived, I knew it was worth the outlay. I used it every day at work and I never regretted buying it. So if you give it some thought, and if you truly have a place for an Eink tablet in your daily work life, then I suggest buy with confidence. Even spending the 900 quid it takes to get a Tab X with a case. If you use it every day, then there's no way you're going to regret that purchase. If any of these fit into your work life, then they will make a big change to your workflow. But the biggest change probably comes from using the Boox tablets, either, which is representing Boox today, the Tab Ultra C or the Tab X, can make a huge change because suddenly you can do so many things that you would normally do on a laptop here on an e-ink tablet. And you'll probably find yourself, if you're like me, finding more tasks to do on it. Maybe using the split screen and keeping certain things open for reference as you work on other notes and documents, but there will be a few frustrating moments on the way. If you buy a Boox, you'll not regret it as long as you set aside time and brain space to learn it. And at the other end of the scale, the Scribe, or indeed the Remarkable, will just slide into your workflow as a replacement for paper. You'll use it like a notebook and you'll probably enjoy using it. It will have as little friction as just buying a new notebook and a new pen. It'll be that easy to use. But I'm sorry to say, if you're looking to spend less time staring at LCD screens, the Remarkable or the Scribe probably won't do that for you because you will only use them when you would have been using paper instead. So you'll have to spend just as much time looking at a laptop. They are great places to get organized. They are great places to plan, but just as a notebook or a diary is. The Supernote might be the best balanced choice out of these four. If you can do with just those few extra things, which will draw you away from your laptop or your phone. But you should expect a learning curve. As I said, the calendar and the email do work, but there will be some learning curves on the way. There will be some setting it up and reading the manual before you've got it working just perfectly. But once you've got your head around it, it really does reward you. And the way that it does the things that it does and what all these buttons on the side here do will just make perfect sense after a while. And people talk about their Supernote after they've used it for some time as being kind of like second nature. And you'll end up feeling right at home, just as you do with pen and paper. Still though, if you are happy on an Android operating system, and apparently 3.3 billion people are using Android today, you'll be fine on a Boox tablet. And the Tab Ultra and Tab Ultra C with the keyboard case is going to have a massive impact on your professional life. Don't be worried, just read the manual. And I do recommend that's a good way to start with a Boox tablet, is to spend an evening just reading the user guide and manual. Maybe even getting used to annotating PDFs by annotating the manual with things that you're going to want to find easily and know how to do later. Hopefully this helps you make a decision. You'll find links to them all in the description, and let me know what you're going to go for and let me know how you find it when you get one. And if you want to see more of what there is out there, this video will show you some other options to take advantage of this magic new category of device, the e-ink tablet.